What's up guys, to my channel. It's the first video that I ever done on this channel. I'm going to present to you the small car that I bought 1 year ago and the story with it. Today I got some new wheels that I have to install on this car. Yeah, it's an E30 with a sr20 swap. The wheels that I bought are there. It's only some rollers for the car because the tires are done, of course, but the wheels are pretty neat. So I'm going to show you the car in 1 sec. So here's the car, the nice little BMW E30 that I bought with a little sr20 in it. It's already all disassembled, of course, because when I bought it with a supposedly blown fuel pump, but in the end the piston ringland were cracked on cylinder number 2 and 3, so the compression was down on cylinder number 2. It was probably at 70 psi, and all others were at 140 psi. So after a summer of trying and repair the car, I did a compression test and found out that it was blown. So this spring I tore it all apart and I removed the piston with the block in the car with this little setup in the garage. So today I'm going to hone the cylinder and clean up the pan surface, because the old gasket is there and I already cleaned the pan itself at home. So now I'm going to show you the interior of the car. The E30 is almost fully gutted. There's only the dash left, of course. So I'm going to show you. So here we have the door cards that are still there. The battery is swapped in the rear of the car. Not even the carpet is left, but we have a little dash here. A little hydro, custom made by the previous owner with a small chain. We have some gauge. Almost all of them are not working at the moment, so I have to make everything work when I will have done the rebuild of the engine. This seat have Sparco as harness, and the seats are both Sparco Sprint. This seat had previously, when I bought it had a Takata harness, a green one, but the owner kept it, so I have to buy another one. The steering says Sparco, but I'm pretty sure that it's a fake one because it's not very sturdy here. I think all the RPM gauge don't work. All the speeds of the transmission work, so that's a good point. The wheels that I have right now are the stock wheels or some painted wheels that are not really looking good. So I bought some rollers to have at least a nice set of looking wheels. I think it has a S15 turbo on this S13 engine. It's a red top. I have an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator, but the previous owner kept the stock one, so I will buy a little tube that connects the two and bypass that FPR. So the owner that had it for almost I don't know, maybe 7 years, drifted it, and he was a welder, so he welded all the tubing in front. He did some little welding here on the frame. He also made a custom made fuel cell in the rear. I'm going to show you just in a sec. It's on stock injector. The fuel filter is here. Stock MAF. I have an electric fan in the car, in the seat, in the passenger seat. So I have a lot of drift spares, of course, for it to be drifted. So it's a drift missile. So the body is a little bit rough, but I'm planning on making it nicer and probably wrap it in the future. I have some experience of wrapping. So the most damage are in the rear here, as you can see. All the fender is wrinkled up. So in the future I will cut all this up and replace it with a fiberglass rear end, so it can be nicer. All the rear windows are in plastic. So I'm going to show you the rear gas tank. So I have a little fuel cell here with the Walbro 255 pump here. So yeah, as you can see, nobody painted this before, so it would be a big job to restore this car. Here the window, so I will buy some window on internet to replace these, and I'm probably going to 3D print something that goes here. Here is a bracket for the fire extinguisher. I will have to buy some before the first start, of course. And also I have an AEM air fuel ratio gauge. So the problem when I bought the car would start on brake cleaner, or if I gave it a lot of gas and I crank it like for 1 minute. So now when I try to put brake cleaner, it would start and die if I don't give it if I didn't give it throttle. So I figured out that it could be a fuel related issue, but when I tried everything, I changed the fuel pump when I bought one on Amazon for like $100, and the problem was still there. So I did a compression test, and like I told you, the engine was blown. So today I'm going to try the new wheels that I showed you, just in the rear, because I don't want to remove the car from the stands, because the engine is not mounted. It's only supported by the beam here that I installed to lift the engine, so I could remove the lower pan and the upper pan. So I'm going to test the wheel in the rear to see what's the fitment, how it looks, and after that I'm going to hone the cylinder to make them look nice, and I'm going to clean the bottom of the block so I can in the future put the upper pan without any leaks and problems. So these are the wheels. They look way better than the wheels that I had before. These ones are not that bad because they're painted black. They fit well with the car, but I'm not a fan of matte black car. But these wheels will fit with it for the summer, of course, and maybe when I wrap it. So they're pretty nice. The tires are pretty done on it though, as you can see, but it will do the job for some rollers, so I can have them in the car and look nice. I would probably change the center cap in the future. It's not my type, so I'm going to start and remove this wheel, and after I'm going to put the wheel to see how it fits. So the wheel is off. I have like I said, the hydro and the hydro and the brake. I have some coilovers. I don't know the name of the brand. If someone could help me, I cannot read it all, but I think it's an old coilover brand. So I'm gonna put the wheel, show you in perspective. This is the old one, the new one. It's not that bigger. It's from I think it was 14 inches, the old one. If I can see it on the tire. Where is it? Wait. It's 185 65 14, and the new one is 205 50 16. So it's not that big. I'm gonna put it on and show you after that. I got a small problem here. I don't have any jack to lift the car. I didn't think that I would need one for this because the car is already on some stands, but the car is too low, so I cannot mount the wheels, but I can at least see what it would look like. I think the fitment will be good, so maybe some spacer are going to be needed, but I have some already. But yeah, could be nice to see that on the car. So next time I'm going to come here, I'm going to bring the jack, of course, and maybe clean the car a little bit, because it's a bit sad to see how much dust comes in here. As you can see, and it's only have been sitting here since probably October, November, late October. So, and all winter I don't think there was any dust coming in here because the snow was blocking it off, and there is not a lot of dust in the winter, of course. So yeah, the wheels will not fit, so I will put the old one back on just for safety if ever the jack stand break, and I'm going to try and put them on in the next video probably. So now I'm going to on the cylinder and come back to you after that. So the cylinders are now honed. I used a little Amazon sanding rocks, or with a drill, and some engine oil that I put in the cylinders before. I blocked off the end of the cylinder with some shop towels, and they are almost pretty done. It was a quick hone just to remove like the biggest scratches in the cylinder, just to make sure that everything was good. And now everything is looking pretty fine. I don't want to eliminate all the scratches, so that's why there is still some. I did this just to refresh a little bit the cylinders, because I'm going to keep the stock pistons and stock piston ring, stock rod, and I'm going to only push probably 7 to 10 psi on the turbo side. So I will stay on the stock ECU, and I just want to make like a reliable 230 wheel horsepower for this summer, just to go to the track like 2 or 3 times this summer, because I really want to drive this car, because like I said, it's been 1 year that I bought this car, and I've only driven it like once while I was trying to figure out what was the problem, and I only drove it in the street, like the little street where I worked on it before. I'm going to put a little video here so y'all can see. like, just as I mentioned, I didn't drive it at all, so like you saw, some little pulls, but not the biggest. It was on like the first gear. So I'm really looking forward to driving, since the weather is pretty looking good today. It's getting hot. So yeah, now I'm going to clean the crank, and after that I'm going to clean the bottom of the block, and I'm going to show y'all after. So guys, now I'm done with scraping the old gasket of the upper pan with some blades, with some razor blades, and my fingers where I could not reach because of the subframe and the sway bar. So now I'm at the point where I will clean the gasket and the surface with some carb cleaner. I think this is the best way to remove old gasket maker, because the carb cleaner takes it off. I don't know why, but really easy. And I could finish with some brake cleaner at the end with some towel shop. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to show you the results of the cleaning. Yeah. So now I'm underneath the car. I'm going to show you the results. I've did some brushing with this little brass brush. Before brushing, I put some carb cleaner to make the gasket maker more squishy and easier to scrape off. And after that, I cleaned it off with some brake cleaner and a towel. So it's pretty much looking like this on the sides here, and goes all the way back here. So that's the place that I have underneath. Now, so I'm done cleaning. It's gonna be good enough, I think, for the gasket maker to bond and make a great seal off when I will put the upper panel back on. So now I have to measure the length of the stock head bolts so I can order the parts that I need. So probably tonight or tomorrow I'm going to order the parts. Like I have to order the head gasket, the head cover gasket, the valve cover gasket, sorry. I have to order piston ring, rod bearing, because the rod that I took out were not in great shape. I could reuse them, but I will not push my luck and install some new, because it's like 50 bucks. So I'm going to install some new. So probably in the next video I'm going to try to test the new wheels, if I don't forget to bring the new jack. I will probably look at the clearance of the rod bearing, after that the piston ring clearance, and probably mount the piston rod in the engine. And if I have time, I will put the oil pan back on. So after that I will be done with the lower end of the engine, and I will just need to put the head back on. So I'm going stock head gasket because, like I said, I don't want to be pushing a lot of turbo pressure, and I don't want a lot of horsepower. So for this summer I want to drift it like a stock SR, not push my luck and try to learn, because I never drifted it. I only drifted on sim, so I really want to get out this summer with this car and do some drifting. So the engine now is pretty much ready for assembly. I only need to order the parts, so I'm going to measure the stock head bolts to measure if they had overstretch, and if they had overstretch, I will buy some, probably, I don't know, I'm hesitating between Mazwork and ARP 2000 head studs, but I really want to keep it low budget so I can have some fun and not put a lot of money into it this year. In the future, I really want to do some big things with this car, of course. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting my new channel, and see you in the next one.